basketball fans anywhere. This is the night that the Pistons get those World Championship rings. This man willed and worked the Pistons to the mountaintop. Here is your captain, Isaiah Thomas.
You know, in life, sometimes you have a goal. And sometimes it takes 8 years, sometimes it takes 9 years, sometimes it takes 30 years for you to reach that goal. But you can use our basketball team as some type of semblance because we struggled for 30, 31 years trying to win an NBA championship, so dreams do come true.
The dream began in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where star forward George Yardley lent marquee value to this small manufacturing town.
The owner of the team, Fred Zollner, made his money manufacturing pistons for General Motors, and so it was a logical progression that they would be known as the Pistons.
Reaching the finals twice in the mid-50s, the Pistons not only found success in Indiana, but also a devoted following.
We were big in Fort Wayne. Everybody in Fort Wayne held us up as heroes.
In 1957, Zollner took his business and his team to the Motor City. But though they would eventually find a new hero in Dave Bing, the Pistons could not seem to recapture their winning ways.
The frustration is when you don't win. You know, every April, I'm home sitting watching the playoffs, and that's no fun at all because I know in my heart I'm better than most of the guys that are out there playing.
Even the addition of franchise center Bob Lanier in 1970 could not save the Pistons from languishing in mediocrity. And despite his valiant efforts, Detroit's frustration continued to grow. Resorting to a series of ill-fated coaching changes, the Pistons hit rock bottom in 1979. It was apparent that a drastic change was needed.
Where I feel I played a little part in the success of the Pistons, a little part, is I told Bill Davidson when he fired me, I said, Bill, you have to get leadership in the front office. You have to have somebody there that has a tremendous basketball background to make the everyday basketball decisions.
The basketball architect of the world champion Detroit Pistons. He put this team together. General Manager Jeff McCloskey.
You know, when I arrived there, it wasn't too good. 16 wins is not a very credible record. You know, we sat down, we talked, and we felt, okay, this is an expansion team. We've got to start clean house right from the beginning, and we got back in the draft and started to get things going.
In the 1981 draft, McCloskey would find the cornerstone around which he would construct his master plan.
When Isaiah became available, you know, I felt this was a very, very special kind of player.
Isaiah by Lever and Valentine still has a dribble right side. Way down to the floor. Comes in the lane. Got it!
Little guy, big heart, great leadership. The things that he had inside him, you know, aren't usually abundant in this league or in any profession.
Drafting Kelly Tripucka and trading for Bill Laimbeer and Vinnie Johnson in that same year, McCloskey began to dramatically reshape the Pistons.
I had some young players and some veteran players, and everybody had the same goal, and that was to get better, and we did.
With their young nucleus in place, the Pistons did improve, but they were still in need of a guiding force.
Somebody's got to coach him, and coach him he did. The winningest coach in franchise history, Chuck Daly.
Coaching in the NBA is a little bit like flying an airplane. You got to get it off the ground. You got to fly it through a lot of turbulence, a lot of miles, but you got to land the plane. Landing is getting into the playoffs and going as far as you can go.
With Daly at the helm, Detroit made it back to the playoffs for the first time in 7 years.
King went for the steal. Isaiah, three-point attempt. He's got it!
But their postseason performances were marked more by individual achievement.
Vinnie Johnson, again.
Than by team success.
Just one of the most incredible shots you'll ever see in a pressure situation.
Yeah, you would have some good moments in terms of yourself individually, but when you're looking at the total picture, you understand that, you know, you're just running your head against the wall. You know, we had a good record, and everybody was telling us that, you know, you're going to get there, you're going to get there. But the personnel that we had, there was no way that we could challenge for a championship.
After 3 early playoff exits, the Pistons would make a critical change in their philosophy.
You replace Tripucka and Benson with Dantley, Sally, Rodman, and Mahorn. Then you got Dumas. Then your team takes off.
With these new faces came a new style of Piston basketball, one dedicated to defense.
It was a run and gun affair my first year, but we've evolved into a good defensive team. It wasn't always here.
Unified by their devotion to defense, this newly cohesive Piston team was now ready to climb to the next level.
One of our main objectives was we've got to catch the Celtics.
In 1987, they would have the chance as they met the defending champion Celtics in the conference finals. But though they would give Boston all they could handle, battling them to a standstill for 7 physical games, Detroit ultimately found that they still had a few lessons to learn about the often treacherous postseason.
Now there's a steal by Bird. Underneath the DJ. What a play by Bird.
The pass by Isaiah, and then the event with 2 players going down on one play, Vinnie Johnson and Adrian Dantley. Those kind of things, which are adverse situations, you must learn how to get over the adversity, how to handle it. That's what helps you develop in terms of a championship-type team.
We had some great games with Boston, but we could never get over that hump. We could never, like, beat Boston at that time. But we hung in there. You know, we didn't give up.
As the 1988 season began, a more mature Piston team was ready to put their experience to use.
I think that we learned a lot in the first year I was here. We learned to keep our composure, to play under control. We was trying to make a statement that we was going to be the next team in this conference to make it.
They would make that statement loud and clear. Gaining a reputation as basketball's bad boys, Detroit was determined to show that they were the team to be reckoned with in the East. With new addition James Edwards bolstering their bench, the Pistons would defeat the Celtics and make their first trip to the finals. This time, however, their postseason education was over. The playoff-hardened Pistons would sweep the Lakers to gain the franchise's first championship. Their evolution was finally complete.
There have been a few of us around for so long that have basically shaped the style and character of our ball club, and I happen to be part of it. Makes me very proud.
This one is for the fans of Detroit.